Hello and welcome to Channel Sports this morning. Many thanks for joining us again. I am Tayo Salam.
And I'm Cecilia Omogwe. On the show this morning, the four Cornets of Nigeria saw in Congo. They defeated Congo Brazzaville 4-0. The second leg is going to be in Lagos on the 18th. Any need for that?
Hey, well, you got to play. It's a fantastic result for the four Cornets as they continue their bid to qualify for the Under-20 FIFA Women's World Cup. Also on the program this time around in England, where was a debut victory for Ralph Rangnick as the interim manager of Manchester United. Fred was the guy that got the goal.
Interesting, coming from Fred the Red. Also on the program, yes, the Rockets. The only thing they know how to do these days is to keep winning.
Awesome stuff.
After losing 15 straight games, they've now won 6 in a row.
Wow.
And of course, we're standing 40 points coming from.
Wow, fantastic results for the Houston Rockets defeating the New Orleans Pelicans despite a fantastic performance from Brandon Ingram. So the Rockets right now, they're on a fantastic run. They don't know how to lose after losing 15 straight. And I was just saying it jokingly the other time. They could actually go on a run after defeating the Chicago Bulls, and that's exactly what they're doing. So good win for the Houston Rockets. Before we talk about the Houston Rockets and focus on them, let's give you the results of all the other games that were played in the NBA. Just the 4 games. I don't know whether to say fortunately or unfortunately. We're not used to this. It's usually more packed
9,
than these.
10 games.
Exactly. Well, just the 4, so we manage for today. Let's start with the Utah Jazz taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers. Darius Garland missed a potential game winner with 2.9 seconds left. As the Utah Jazz who got 35 points from Donovan Mitchell survived Cleveland's late surge for their 4th straight win. 109-108. That's how it ended.
Victory was just by a point.
Painful. You should use.
Painful.
That's the word. Can you imagine you being a Cleveland Cavalier this morning? You'd be feeling very awful. Anyways, that's how it goes sometimes in basketball. 1-point victory for the Utah Jazz. Let's move on to the Hornets against the ATL Hawks. He ended 130-127. Miles Bridges with 32 points in that victory for the Hornets, who were playing without 4 players, including LaMelo and 2 other starters.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's awesome for them. I think that's a great one.
Great victory indeed.
Yeah.
All right.
Trae Young was exceptional on the 9th. He had 25 points and 15 assists.
Wasn't enough.
It wasn't enough at all.
Yeah, that's how it goes. Let's move on to the Raptors and the Wizards. This was a bit of a surprise for me.
Yes.
Pascal Siakam scoring 31 points. Precious Achiuwa scoring 10 points and grabbing 14 rebounds as the Toronto Raptors defeated Washington Wizards 102-90.
Bradley Beal was literally shut down. 14 points.
Terrible game for Bradley Beal.
4 of 12 from the field. Yeah, 3rd game in a row now that he has scored less than 20 points. What's going on with Bradley Beal? It's not shooting the ball very well, obviously, so that's something he's going to have to figure out. But then we've seen great players go through situations like this. But for Precious Achiuwa, I watched the game, thought it was very decent. His 4th double-double of the season as well. It's good to see the young man getting all of these minutes in, because that's the only way he can actually develop his game in the NBA. And last but not the least was the Rockets defeating the New Orleans Pelicans 118-108 for their 6th straight victory. Who would have thought about this when the team was dropping like flies and dropping games left, right, and center? It just couldn't kick off.
Wow, just couldn't take off.
It couldn't take off at all. It was just there, right there on the ground, and everyone coming to just throw some dish on it. I mean, whatever thing is coming, some dirt, all of them on the Rockets. But right now,
I love this.
After taking off, there is no coming down.
They're not coming down at all.
That's what it's looking like right now. But they might just come down on Wednesday, right? Because the Brooklyn Nets are waiting. It's going to be a home game. Let's see what's going to happen in that one. But then concerning this game, Eric Gordon, of course, Christian Wood, both guys scoring 23 points. A great one, you say, for him. So for them, piecing together that 6th straight win.
Yeah.
I think it was really key in this particular game because defensively, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Defensively also, it was so unselfish.
Indeed. So the Rockets are now, in this particular game, they finished 17 of 40 from beyond the arc, which was
right at the average per game during this winning streak, and I like how the Rockets refused to be defeated.
Yeah.
Even when they were on that losing streak, Coach Stephen Silas kept taking the positives out of a lot of the games that they were playing.
Especially the close games.
Exactly. They had some very close games, very, very disappointing ones as well too, but he never lost faith in the guys. He felt it was only a matter of time before they turned it around, and turning it around is what they've done right now. Coach Stephen Silas, obviously very delighted that the Rockets are piecing together this incredible winning streak. Let's take a listen to it. It's a happy camp now, Cecilia.
Yeah,
love to see
smiling,
it.
Yeah. At the point that when I started seeing the lines in his face, I'm like, how old is this guy again?
I mean, yeah.
But now, I mean, you could see the freshness.
Exactly, yeah. He's starting to look a lot more vibrant, and is that to do with a lot for first-year head coach last season. Having
with
to
all
deal
the
with
players
loss.
just leaving, the players, they were like, these are the players I'm going to work with. And then he's right
all
here.
Of a sudden,
they're all leaving.
No James, no Russell. Even the GM left as well, too. Darren Murray left around that time as well. So,
PJ Tucker, drama.
It's been a tough one. And there's still John Wall somewhere in the background. For some reason, they've decided to shut him out of the team, and until they find a solution for him, perhaps.
Because he wants to leave.
Season. Anyway, so that's how it is for the Rockets and their sixth game winning streak. They'll be taking on the Brooklyn Nets next. So perhaps that might just be the end of it, but you never know. Cecilia.
It's a home game. Let's see what's going to happen. Let's just see.
Because they've got momentum on this side.
So they wouldn't want to,
very confident.
Slide.
Exactly.
And I love the fact that he's every player. They don't have a particular player they have to rely on. So everyone is stepping up. So I mean, I love that streak thing. That it's just that thread that is literally tying them together, which is the bond. It's unbreakable.
We're
living.
Let's take a look
top
at
performers, right? Yeah. Okay, we have so many of them, Tyler, right? Six or seven. How many do you have?
Six of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Darius, of course.
Darius Garland for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
All he needed to do was just that final buzzer busy shots and then get the win. It didn't happen.
31, 4, and 5. Let's move on to the next guy, Donovan Mitchell, in the same game against the Cavs. He scored 35 points, grabbed 3 rebounds, and dished out 6 assists. Next up is Brandon Ingram for the Pelicans. He just scored 40 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and he still ended up losing.
You get up from this. It's hard.
Painful.
Yeah, that's when you're playing against the Rockets. That's already up there. Nobody's going to come down.
Exactly. John Collins as well, too, had a good game for the ATL Hawks. 31 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, but they lost as well against the Charlotte
Hornets without LaMelo Ball and
Miles
three other keys.
And because they didn't have LaMelo Ball, this guy steps up big time for Charlotte. 32 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists for Miles Bridges.
And that was enough for that victory.
Indeed. Pascal Siakam as well too had a fantastic performance.
Great one.
Especially in the first half. 31 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists for the Raptors in their win over the Washington Wizards.
All right.
Okay, so that's it for the NBA. We're moving on now to what went down in Saudi Arabia, the very first Formula 1 race in that part of the world, Cecilia.
What a drama.
The only word I can use to describe this is chaos. Absolute chaos right from the start till the end. A lot of twists and turns, a lot of drama. By the end of 50 laps, it was Lewis Hamilton winning the race and drawing level on points with Max Verstappen going into the season finale in Abu Dhabi. Cecilia, just like we said, it's going down to the wire.
And it's I mean, after 21 races, right? 21 races, nothing is separating Hamilton and Max Verstappen. It's going to be a winner takes it all in Abu Dhabi. That's what we'll be expecting. But this particular race, I don't know if it was fair or if it's unacceptable, if acceptable driving. But I felt that if you're smart enough to get your way, then let it go. My heart
there are rules to the game.
There are
rules to the game.
Because I expect, fine, I understand, I get it. But then, I mean, at the time, was it brake testing or because he was asked to give time for Hamilton to go past simply because of what happened earlier? Or maybe, I don't know if it was brake testing, but I felt he slowed down for that and Hamilton hit him from the back. So I don't think So why is he being penalized for that?
When he went off the track, there was a time he actually went off the track to take over from Hamilton. But I think it was smart driving on the part of Max Verstappen. That's what I think.
Yeah.
But fine, there are rules and there are rules. But do you want to drive or do you really want to, you know, look more at the rules than anything? This was one of it.
So what happened, Cecilia? Because these two guys are so close in the championship race, even on track, they've been close all season as well too. They were head-to-head for much of the race. They clashed wheel-to-wheel after 2 of the 3 race starts, and then made contact when Verstappen slowed down to try and give his rival the lead as instructed following a questionable defense earlier. And that's the reaction right there from the Mercedes camp. Toto Wolff, obviously very mad, like, what did he just do right there? And Hamilton has come out to interpret it as being brake tested. And they thought that was very strategic on the part of Verstappen. It was done on purpose. That's the reaction of Hamilton to it all. But at the end of it all, Verstappen indeed was found guilty for that, and he received a 10-second penalty from the stewards over that incident, but stays second. I just saw a smile from Toto Wolff right there, because after everything, Hamilton still found a way, despite the collision damaging the front wing of his car, still find a way to, you know, get the checkered flag right there, and celebrations all around for Team Mercedes, because that victory is now tied both drivers going into the season finale. Cecilia, it's going to be awesome. I can't wait for what's going to go down in Abu Dhabi. I think we're in for some serious
another crazy race,
drama.
Right?
Yeah.
Let's get reactions now from the drivers.
I mean, I just see. Did you see the reaction? Just see the reactions that are coming from.
That's what you want to see.
Hamilton. I mean, look at them. They're so overjoyed, because a few weeks ago he was 21 points behind,
and there's 1-3 in a row.
There you go. That's why I was saying at the time, never discount a champ like Hamilton. Look at the reaction of Max Verstappen. Obviously, very disappointed in what has happened. Anyways, we'll see.
He's a smart driver, but he should be smarter, I think. Maybe he's trying to see if he can get some loopholes out of the rules.
Cecilia,
but I think he needs to be smarter.
Verstappen was so mad after this race. He didn't take part in the celebrations, podium celebrations afterward, despite coming second. Anyways, let's take a listen now to the both drivers. They've been talking about that incident-packed Saudi Arabia Grand Prix. So Verstappen and Hamilton are tied on points, but in terms of their race wins for the season, Verstappen leads 9-8, which means if they go down to Abu Dhabi in the season finale and both drivers end without points, let's say, for example,
they crash out,
ends the race, Verstappen is going to be the champ. I don't want it to go down that way.
I think I would have actually loved if Verstappen can be very smart and see how he can take out Hamilton and take himself out. Then he wins the race.
But then he might get penalized, and they do the investigations, and they're like, okay, what if it's a fault? And I don't want it to get down that way. I don't want the championship to be decided by a collision. I know Toto Wolff said something like...
It may just happen.
It may just
because
happen.
Max Verstappen is that crazy. It may just happen.
It may.
Because he wants to win it. I mean, I've seen the numbers of races, as you mentioned. I mean, he has won more races than Hamilton.
9, yeah.
And so, at the end of the day, if Hamilton wins this, it's going to be so disappointing for him. So next year, we'll have to start all over again. Then would have been 8 for Hamilton, and yet he doesn't have one.
He's still young. He's 24.
Young. Okay, let's see if he can win
so
one.
Many
I'm
years ahead of him.
Max Verstappen, right?
Fair enough.
Hamilton's a better driver, the smarter driver. But Max Verstappen has paid his dues, right? He's 24, I know that, but he needs to win one now.
Yeah.
All right, we'll leave it Formula One quickly because we don't want to spend all the time talking about it. And quickly go to, we'll go to London. Austin will be joining us briefly. But then before that,
Singapore.
Yeah, before that, we'll go to Singapore first, right? Where Hano Quadri, of course, they're talking about the World Table Tennis Cup finals. That's where it's taking place. The top 16 players in the world are there in Singapore are playing against each other. And, of course, for Hano Quadri, his first game, and, you know, when we mentioned that particular game, we're like, okay, he's playing against someone from China. Will he be able to beat him? Liang Jiankun, but then he got the better of him.
Surprising, pleasantly
surprising. It has to be said because I thought it was going to be very difficult against any Chinese opponent. Is difficult when it comes to table tennis. Not to talk of someone who's ranked above you. Not to talk of someone who you've met twice and you've lost twice against. So I thought it was going to be very, very difficult. But Quadri absolutely stunned everyone watching. Lost the first game. But showed
7-11.
Yeah, but showed incredible character in the second to win it.
In that second one,
smashed
11-1.
I mean, once you win 11-1, I imagine your confidence just rises through the roof, and that's exactly carried the momentum into the third game.
Second, 14-12, and the third one, 11-5.
And that was 3-1.
3-1. I was surprised because I thought it was going to go into maybe 7 games because you're playing against a player ranked higher than you are, and then you expect something remarkable to happen. Maybe a 4-2.
I mean, look at that rally.
But the rally.
Look at that.
Quadri,
look at that point there for Quadri.
I don't know where he got his energy from. I mean, he said he keep fighting. He never gave up. So he worked so hard for it, and then it worked for him. The positive mindset, everything working in his favor, and then he's winning it for all of us.
I mean, Quadri is obviously the greatest table tennis player to come out of Africa right now. When it's all said and done, I think it's going to be that way as well. And he's just incredible right now. And coming on the back of reaching the quarterfinals in Houston last week, that was at the World Table Tennis Championships. It's just remarkable what this guy has been able to do against table tennis players that are more, that've got better support. I could see it in this game. This guy had technical support from the sidelines. I don't think I saw anyone for Quadri. Stuff like that. That's why, even if when they lose eventually, I never get mad. As a matter of fact, I give them
sometimes they need that extra push, extra edge, something extra to defeat their opponent. But when it's not there, in fact, there's nothing standing behind you. You've got you're all by yourself.
There you go. That's the winning point right there. Can you believe it? Yes, you can. You better believe it. Arnold Quadri is in the quarterfinals of the World Table Tennis Cup finals in Singapore. We need to go on a break now. When we come back, Arnold Quadri is going to be telling us about his next opponents and how he intends to navigate that part. Austin Okonapan is also going to be joining us from our London studios. Austin obviously has got a big smile on his face now that Quadri is doing amazing things in the world of table tennis. Join us after this.
I'm very happy and excited. I think I'm just lucky in this match. Everyone is so tired from World Championships in Houston, and I could feel he's so tired also. But I kept my cool, and it actually worked for me. I put many balls to the table, and he made several errors on his own. I was fighting and fighting. I was never giving up. I actually believe if I'm selected to be here, it means I have what it takes to play. I expect the same thing. I will try my best, and we will see how it goes.
We'll see how it goes later today when Arnold Quadri takes on number 3 ranked Hugo, number 4 ranked Hugo Calderon of Brazil. Yeah, so there's a chance right there. Anyways, Onyewuchi Nwachukwu has now joined us for the rest of the show. Onye, good morning. You're welcome to the show.
Good morning, Cecilia. Good morning, Tayo.
Good morning.
Indeed. We're all very happy to see what Quadri is doing in Singapore. It's just amazing to see an African doing this well when it comes to table tennis.
Yeah, I mean, it's so heartwarming. And I think it's a result of a lot of years of sacrifice. Very, very concerted efforts from Arnold Quadri and his, I think, what I call it, support staff. And you said it here that a few days ago at the World Championship, he got to the quarterfinals. He lost, unfortunately, to a lower-ranked player. And I think he took that momentum to this World Table Tennis Cup finals. And he's doing so well. Before at the tournament in Houston, he was the first African to get to the quarterfinal. First African. After that tournament, he became world number 13. So a lot of things are really working out for Arnold. And it's not just coincidence. We must say it, that this young man has done a lot for himself. And this tournament, Tayo and Cecilia, we need to also highlight that at the intervals, while his opponent, the Chinese, that they lost twice to in previous tournaments, had a coach, technical support, Aaron Quadri had none. So we have to highlight it here, so that people who did not so we begin to reap or send press releases. Last week I said, what have we given this young man? What have we given to him? We need to say it.
Yeah.
You can imagine how far Quadri will go if he gets support staff. The same thing happened at the Commonwealth Games in Australia. Our opponents, had world-class coaches.
Why are you going all the way to the Commonwealth Games? Just at the Olympics. They complained. We heard all of the complaints.
So what does it take to get a world-class coach to help Aaron Quadri? If he's doing this without a technical support, he's only motivating himself. Watching his opponents being talked to by very sound coaches. And so we need to commend this young man. So you can imagine what he will do if he gets a world-class coach.
Yeah, that's the situation with a lot of Nigerian athletes as well. To imagine what they would achieve with the right support. Austin Okunakman is also ready to join us from our London studios. Austin, good morning. You're welcome to the program.
Spotted greetings, guys. It's good to be on the show. Tayo, just before I jump into Aaron Quadri, I remember about 2 months ago, I was sitting on this seat right here in London, and you asked me who was going to win the 2021 F1 season.
Yeah.
And I said, ask me when it's 5 more races to go. When it was 3 races to go, I was praying that Tayo would ask me.
There you go.
And then after yesterday, I was like, wow. Let the best driver win in Abu Dhabi. It's been a crazy season.
Yeah, I want to ask you.
Who is the best driver? So who is the best driver for you, Austin? Yeah. You should have a best driver. Who is the best driver?
Just because I know we've got Britons watching the show, I'll say Lewis Hamilton. But for yesterday, definitely my driver of the day was Max Verstappen. He did a great job.
Totally agree with that. He is. I just hope he wins on Sunday. Okay, so we leave it from London. Quickly on the Aaron Quadri stuff. Yeah, you had a chat with him last week, especially after what he did in Houston. And right now in Singapore, it's more like just continuing with what he did in Houston, in Singapore. And the fact that he was able to beat a player ranked as high as Liang, it's something we really need to celebrate, and hopefully he can get into the semis after he's beaten the Brazilian later tonight.
Beautiful, Cecilia. And once again, it highlights the importance of playing more games, of getting experience, more exposures in international competitions. Aaron Quadri definitely learned so much from what happened at the World Championships in Houston. He broke records, but he didn't like the way he lost it, And when I spoke to him last week Thursday on Sports Tonight, I said, what are your expectations in Singapore? He says he just wants to give his country a good representation. He wants to be a good ambassador. And I think that's what he's doing. And against Jin Kun, the way he bounced back was what turned it around for him. He lost the first game and then picked himself back up, won the second, won the third, and went on to win against a player that is ranked number 8 in the world. It gets more difficult tonight against Calderona because Calderona is younger, and I've noticed that Aaron Quadri sometimes struggles with these younger players. And Calderona is just 25. He's ranked number 4 in the world.
Yeah.
And he's Brazilian. I've highlighted these points because these are the things that Aaron, struggles with. He struggles with Brazilians, younger players, but he has broken one all by beating Jin Kun, who is a better ranked player. So he can take a step further today and do that. I love what Onyewuchi said about support, technical support. While his opponent is going to meet a technical advisor that is telling him, do this, do this, do that, Aaron Quadri is going to sip water and take banana. Nobody to talk to him. And this guy has been representing Nigeria and winning. Why can't the ministry, in collaboration with the Nigeria Table Tennis Federation, find a way to support this fantastic ambassador of sports in Nigeria? So these are the lessons that we should take out of this. This guy is pushing himself. How about when his country gives him some support?
Yeah.
He might just do better.
Oh, so you're spot on, Austin.
You're spot on. I mean, nothing to add to that,
Nothing
because
to
that's exactly what he needs: more support, sponsorship, and everything, so that he will be able to pay technical coaches. I mean, we can have 3 or 4, behind him, and that obviously will help him to move forward. We leave that and quickly touch down Scrabble. Yes, the Champion of Champions tournament was concluded in Benin City on Sunday, and of course, there's a new champion right now. Olatunde Uduwole, he emerged champion after he defeated a player that is ranked higher than him. Yes, when I mention that player, we're talking about Jigere. Remember Jigere?
Wellington, former world champ.
Wellington, their former world champion. He defeated him 2-1.
Wow.
And that's after 21 rounds of game. So being able to win that, and this competition actually have the top-ranked Scrabble players who had won national and African and even world championship to determine the best of the best. And of course, we have the best. Imagine Uduwole winning it. Great one, you will say, Tayo.
Indeed. Oh, yeah. Scrabble.
Yeah. I mean, these are interesting times for the game of Scrabble. I think we also talked about these players a couple of weeks ago, their exploits on the world stage. And we mentioned Shigere, who was widely celebrated as a world champion some years ago. And I think it's also good that the Federation made this arrangement for the best players in the country that have won championship in the past, on the continent and outside the continent, to come together and see what they can do. It can only get better, really. When you play against the best, you are likely to be motivated. And I was reading how the last round, the last players emerged in the last round, how keenly contested it was, and it's good. I think these federations that they are not, will I say, motivated by pecuniary gains are the ones really doing so well. Maybe, I don't know, maybe if there was so much money in federation, maybe we would have had the same scenario with basketball and the rest of them. But they have gone about their affairs. Look at cricket,
Saw the same with chess.
And chess, and doing so well for the players. The emphasis, really, they put so much emphasis on players' development. And that is the way to go for me.
Way to go.
44 players across the country took part. That's a huge number.
Yeah, so it's good to know that all these Scrabble players get the opportunity to play the game. Congratulations to Olatunde Uduwole, the champion of the Nigeria Scrabble competition that was held just over the weekend. So that's it for Scrabble. Let's get on with the show and talk about volleyball. Cecilia, what's going on in the world of volleyball?
I think there you have Anambra winning the Southeast Volleyball Championship, the Volleyball League. It's also a league from the Southeast, the 2021 Southeast League, and it was Anambra State that won it. The tournament was held at the volleyball court in Oka. Anambra male team, Ghana, about 7 points to defeat Enugu team, who came second with 6 points. Ebonyi State male team took the 3rd position with 5 points. They were able to get this one simply because, I mean, the kind of developments they've had, according to, the organizers, the fact that Anambra State have tried as much as possible to put so much emphasis on players' development, and that's how they were able to win this Southeast Championship. Let's get reaction from the league.
Sometime in August, I called the Volleyball Association and inspired them that they should start a league. And they took it, held their meetings, and started it. Since August, this league started with 11 teams, and they were playing home and away, both male and female. Every Saturday and Sunday, they were engaged. They play home, they play away. And eventually, we got the best 2 teams from the league table. It's a step in the right direction, and we thank God that we've seen it to the end, okay? And for us, our aim is to use this as a platform to select players, that will represent the state and eventually go to the national team. So you yourself have seen the quality of play. It shows it's not a game that they just played in a day. It's a game that spanned over 6 months.
All right. I mean, it's a great one. We're happy that this will obviously help to select players, not just for the state, but also hopefully they can get into the the national team. So when federations like these are having different tournaments across the country, players get a chance to play. All right, we'll leave volleyball now quickly and go straight to the African Karate Championships, where Nigeria won 3 medals in that particular championship that was held in Cairo in Egypt. You would say is a huge one for all the players who took part. We have multiple champion Rita Ogena, who won the only gold in the 64 kg women's event. Christabel Daniel and national champion Joseph Omu won bronze medals in the women's 53 kg and men 84 kg category. So the president of Federation has been talking about how the players have been, how the athletes were able to give their very best, and also this particular championship also helped to integrate the younger players and the older players, because this championship was just for the African junior and also senior. So you have both the junior and the senior taking part. That's pictures of those athletes who took part in the championship. And good news is the fact that they came back home with 3 medals. This is a great
Karate.
Karate,
I think it's also as a result of continuity. Honorable Salah Sagara used to be the deputy governor of Nasarawa State, and he returned as the chairman of the federation. So you could say they are reaping the fruits of continuity. And for these athletes, Tayo and Cecilia, they have conquered events at the national level. So it's only natural they should move on to the continental stage, and they have done so. Rita Ogene winning gold medal in the 64 kg. He has been a multiple national champion, and the other medalists. So I hope that we can sustain this momentum. Like Austin said, the only secret for athletes to improve is to give them every best and expose them to the best tournaments in the world. And as long as they continue to attend this tournament, they are only likely to pick up, few vital lessons and improve. So we hope that they attend more tournaments, and we wish the athletes the best of luck.
All right. Time to talk about
the 4 connects. Your 4 connects.
Yes.
Cecilia.
I mean, when the whole qualifier started and you look at the countries you're facing, okay, Central African Republic, there's Congo, Egypt waiting, of course. Congo had to take out Egypt, then face Congo. There's Cameroon also waiting in the wings when we're done with this round. And after that, maybe Morocco or Guinea or another team, which is going to be the final round. There's a whole stretch of qualifiers for the 4 continents. But the good news is, against Congo-Brazzaville on Sunday, it was a resounding win, just like they did in CAR, although that was 7-0, and they concluded everything here in Lagos, by making it 11-0 aggregate. But right here, against Congo-Brazzaville, they won 4-0. Messi Idoko, started the scoring at 38th minute. Remember, Messi actually scored 4 goals in that 11-0 victory aggregate. She had 4. So right now, she's having 5 goals. Flourish Sebastian, 47th minute, she added another, of course, Esther Inezide and Deborah Abiodun, completing that in the 55th minute. It could have been more, but then the girls had to rest their legs and wait for the return leg that will be in Lagos on the 18th of this month. That's when they will be playing the return leg in Lagos.
The job almost done.
Yeah, I mean, the ladies always give us so much delight. And I think this tournament is also very crucial. Remember that the likes of Aziza Doshuala, came through this system. Well, maybe the national team will begin to look at a player like Idoko, who has shown consistency in goal scoring. And hopefully, I don't see any problem in the return leg. Maybe when we get to the tougher stages, because of late at the senior level we have become stagnant, and countries like South Africa are really catching up with us. We are already getting very apprehensive about playing Cote d'Ivoire in the African Women's Championship qualifiers. These were not the issues some years ago. So I think we still need a lot of work to be done. The only way is to encourage players from this level, younger players, fresher players, hungrier players who want to win laurel. I think some of our star players are already, maybe they are already getting complacent with what they have won. So we need competition for them so that they can either sit up. If they cannot cope, then gradually ease out of the system.
Well, experience is really needed anyway.
So congrats, a good win for the 4 continents. Let's move on to the continents. Talk about the CAF Confederation Cup, where 2 clubs were in action. Al-Masri were in action against Rivers United of Nigeria. Unfortunately, that match ended 1-0 in favor of the Egyptian side, and that means Rivers are out of the competition before the group stage on the way goes rule. The other matchup was between Enyimba and Al Ittihad of Libya right in Nigeria, ended 2-0. That was the second leg, but there's still a first leg to be played, which is outstanding. So Enyimba will be looking to wrap up victory in that one. But we're going to be focusing, obviously, on Rivers United. Austin is still with us. Austin, unfortunately, is the end of the road for Rivers United. We knew it was always going to be tricky after they conceded that one goal in Aba against Al Masry.
Unfortunately, Tyra, we talked about it, you know. We warned Rivers United. We told them, look, don't take your eyes off the prize. We've always wanted more from the pride of Rivers when they were playing in Port Harcourt. They didn't give us that. Now that they were going to Aba, I was a little bit, you know, on the edge and not expecting so much. But when you concede 2-1 results in a two-legged fixture is the worst because they beat you 1-0. You are out, you know. If you play 1-1, you know, your opponent will start, you know, trying to be careful and they might make mistakes and you go get the win. So Rivers United, they just need to learn. This is a team that we were expecting so much from because we know the sort of support that they're receiving from the state government and to an extent. They want, you know, something good to come out of it for them. But it is football. When you fall sometimes, you need to find a way to get up. But it's happening too many times for Rivers United. And that's why I was saying they must find a way to get out of this. You know, better luck next time. But for Enyimba, while we're rejoicing that 2-0 win, Tayo, Cecilia, Onyenwuchi, I'm saying, why didn't that first leg hold? So that now we know first leg done, and they've won 2-0.
We know for sure.
We know we will have our hands out of our cheek. But now, with Al Ittihad, you know, going back to play. Now, how can you see the finish line and then someone tells you go back and run again? So I really don't know where to put myself as regards Enyimba, but we just want to wish them all the best this morning.
Yeah. That's what we're wishing them. We'll go for a short break. When we'll come back, of course, we'll be talking about the English Premier League and how Rannick was able to get his first win for Manchester United on his debut. Yeah. Yeah, welcome back. Oyewuchi, we'll just get your thoughts on the game on the continent. I mean, Rivers United, yes, we talked about the fact that they were working on a very, very tight rope. And, of course, it happened. But Enyimba, 2-0 victory at home. The away game, where is it going to be played and when? Well, we're waiting for CAF, right?
Yeah, we're waiting for CAF.
Where and when? We're waiting for CAF.
Yeah, we're waiting for CAF to announce the venue. You remember what happened?
Yeah.
The circumstances that led to the game being botched. Very, very unfortunate. Enyimba got everything that they had to do right, but, I mean, when you got to Casablanca and you are not allowed to enter Tunisia, really don't know what to do. They were told initially that the game will hold in Libya. They got Libyan visas for the contingent. A few days later to the game, they were asked to get Tunisian visa. In fact, they told them that they would give them visa on arrival in Tunisia, but they didn't take chances. They arranged and got visas, Tunisian visas. When they got to Morocco, they were all of a sudden told that they needed to be vaccinated, produce a visit. Rivers United went to Egypt. They didn't produce evidence of vaccination cards, and they did their coronavirus tests. And if you are not positive, then you're allowed to play the game. Those are the rules. So I think CAF should get his act together and make this pronouncement once and for all, so that we know where we are moving. All these issues will not. But for the game proper, Enyimba scored in the first half. Sadiq Abubakar, early minutes goal. Then Victor Mboma, always scoring for Enyimba, you know, very consistent. Scored the second goal. So we expected that they would have, you know, added to the tally in the second half, but that didn't happen. The good thing is that they didn't concede, unlike Rivers United. So 2-0 is good for the continent. I trust Enyimba will get the job done wherever. I have my confidence that they will get the job done.
Maybe CAF should take it down to southern part of Africa, because at the end of the day, or West Africa. Because, I mean...
But Cecilia and Tayo, a team played in Tripoli yesterday. A team played in Tripoli against Stade Malien. In fact, 4 Nigerian referees officiated that game. So I don't know the reason the game was taken. If a team played in Tripoli, it means that the safety of the players is guaranteed. So why can't they play in Tripoli if they cannot guarantee safety in Benghazi.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
We'll wait for CAF to give us a clarity on when and where Aimba will be playing the first leg of the CAF Confederation Cup matchup against Al Ittihad. Austin, we're going to let you go now, but before you go, quick one on Ralph Rangnick, the professor in quote of football, getting his first win as Manchester United interim manager. That was against Crystal Palace.
And of course, you guys can confirm that Manchester United are already feeling the Rangnick effect. He says he's going to play the present game. Yeah. And we saw that there's an interesting fact that says that Manchester United won possession in the final third 12 times in that match against Crystal Palace. That's the most they've done since Sir Alex Ferguson retired. So there's a change happening in the team now. And that goal scored by Fred, you know, guys, that class written all over it. So let's wait and see what Ralph Rangnick is going to do. As I said, it's not just about this season. It's about whoever he's going to hand over to. But I think he has got off to a flying start, and he can just go on to sustain the momentum.
We'll see. We'll see about that. 1-0. Austin, thank you for joining us on the show. You can go ahead about the rest of your day now. Thank you.
It's always a delight to be with you guys on the show. Thank you so much.
Okay.
7 passes into the final third. Okay.
First clean sheet at Old Trafford as well.
How many days?
For the season as well. So since April, that's a long, long time. It's
a long time, right?
Yeah. So, but anyways.
And April you're talking about
I think
at
it's
home,
still too,
right?
yeah,
at home. The April you're talking about is last season, right?
So I think it's still too early to start talking about the Ralph effect, like Austin just said. I mean, it's only Crystal Palace. I mean, no disrespect to Palace, they were poor on the day, but it's always good to start your first game on a winning note, regardless of however you've done it. I mean, it was looking like a goalless draw until Fred popped up. The most unlikely goal scorer, you have to say.
7 of his 9 tackles, completed 5 of his 6 long passes. And this is Fred that we know for giving ball away. That's what we know him for.
Well, absolutely. I think it's a breath of fresh air for Manchester United fans. They've really suffered a lot.
They suffered under their legend.
Yeah, so
who was supposed to bring all of that.
So let's see if he's able to sustain the momentum. This is just the first game.
Yes, exactly.
And it's a stretch, it's a long stretch.
Well, of course, still
if he's able to steady the ship and get the players up to the standard required, then.
And luckily for Rafa, it's got a very decent run of fixtures as well, too, unlike the crazy one they had earlier. It's a decent run where you would expect.
To Chelsea.
Yeah, exactly. Then in Europe as well, to Villarreal, Atalanta. It's very tough for them. But this next run of fixtures, about 10 of them, you expect United on the raft.
But we must also admit here that Crystal Palace were profligate.
Yeah,
I mean,
they missed.
Wilfred Zaha,
Jordan Ayew.
Jordan
Ayew, the best chance.
Heartbreaking. Very good player, a good dribbler, but
great skill.
His finishing is heartbreaking.
Hand product is awful. Anyways, good win for Ralph Rangnick. On to the next one for Manchester United. Still unbeaten since they sacked Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Make what you will of that one.
It happens for them almost all the time when a new manager is sacked. Comes in, they win like maybe 7 or 8.
I think this is it.
This is it. And then the next is okay. Credit to them this morning for having that victory.
Give it to them.
Give it to them, bro. I'm doing that. I just mentioned Fred, my guy. I mean, it was good at the end of the day. Papers now, quickly, I'll start with Complete Sports here. Complete Sports, you have AFCON 2022, fresh fears over Ndidi, 7 others availability. And this is because UK adds Nigeria to red list country. That will happen today, right? That's what we were hearing.
Well, what's the fears about, though?
Red list. So if Nigeria is on the red list in the UK, can our players in the UK come back to the country and be able to go back? That's the big question, right?
Yeah, you know, football always have a way of navigating through all these issues. Remember, Napoli also expressed fears that they will not allow Osimhen to go into UK eventually. You know, these football people are influential. And FIFA, CAF, UEFA, they always find a way.
It's nice to worry about.
They always find a way around it. I understand the fears, but eventually these players, the rules are there. Get vaccinated. If you're not going to get vaccinated, get a test done within certain periods. So that's it.
I'm not worried. I'm not worried.
We'll see. Aribo says, I don't know my best position.
That's a very interesting one because
Well, I thought it's a 10 midfielder.
No, 10 exactly. If you're watching for Rangers a lot, it plays from the right side of midfield and always getting into the box, scoring goals. But
maybe,
comes to Nigeria,
maybe he's a victim of his own versatility. And when the coach, has seen that you can play a lot of role, like when Sir Alex Ferguson was coach of Manchester United, that they had problem in right back, he just said naturally that during training, Antonio Valencia naturally drift to the right back. So it was not a problem. So if a player is versatile, then the coach will always like to use that very rare fit.
But if he's getting goals in that position, maybe we should start playing in that position.
Let's leave Joe Aribo and his versatility out for now. It's a good one to have a player who's very versatile in modern football. Let's go to Sporting Life. I'm in a hurry to come here because we've got the editor, deputy editor of the paper right here beside us. And the big story on your paper is that Qatar 2022 World Cup raw goes February 2022.
That's like after the Nations Cup.
Yeah, tell us about that, please.
So give us the what's the inside story?
Yeah, that's a big scoop from the editor, Ade Ojekere. Last Thursday, there was a meeting between top ministry officials, including the sports minister, the permanent secretary, and top NFF officials. Though when the NFF president came out, Amaju Pinnick, he didn't give very clear, detailed, outcome of the meeting. So that's a scoop about some of the issues that were raised at Raw. But the aspect of February, maybe they have given Raw a tacit approval to remain at the helm after the Nations Cup and eventually ease him out. That I don't know. But the question is, if he does well, if he wins the Nations Cup, for instance, are you going to still allow him to go? Those are the questions. So, and they spelled out certain things that should be done, like reconstituting the technical group, trying to bring Yobo and the rest. I think Fini the judge. Then also getting a technical support group that will comprise of certain internationals like Amuneke, Kano Wankwa, and Austin Okocha. These are theses for me. These are theories. So
seriously?
I don't
the coach is not performing. You're going to help him build a team behind him to help him succeed. And who takes the glory? Of course, it's going to go to the coach, right? You know what? Gennett will win the Nations Cup where he goes. I think that should be straightforward enough.
Yeah, I think so. And I think it's a two-edged sword. If he doesn't win, then they can.
But you just said it's going in February 2022. That's why your paper said.
But so many things can happen.
Okay, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. All right, guys, we gotta go.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you all for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. I am Tayo Salan.
I'm Cecilia Mongbe. See you tomorrow.